What up guys, Clouded Journey here, and I just finished my bottle of Crown Royal, so I felt like, maybe I'll talk about some comics.
I am immortal, I have inside me blood of kings, I have no rival, no man can...
Let's get into the comics for this week. Now first of all, Deadpool. I got 3 books here, all solid. Deadpool starting off, that was the first one I read, most excited about. $2.99, just as good or better than most $3 books out there, or $4 books out there. What we get in this one, after the whole big taking down the helicarrier adventure, we have Deadpool going through a little bit of a experiment to try to get Agent Preston out of his head. Now that's the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent who got stuck in his head, and helped him deal with some of the stuff, realizing it's a daughter, realizing he had a woman he had sex with who was still alive, and going through the depression of losing them. So Deadpool kind of has to realize how much he's appreciated having Preston there, and his subconscious sort of doesn't want to let her go. So most of this issue takes place in his head, which could be the recipe for a disaster. As certain dream sequences and stuff like that, sometimes I find are just a waste of time and aren't done really well. This one's done really well. You get a really good introspective to what Deadpool is about. People who liked the good, bad, and the ugly storyline but complained about this S.H.I.E.L.D. storyline will like this, because you're getting a little bit back to the more serious, in-depth stuff. It's not just the silly stuff. And it's an interesting look at Deadpool and what's going on. So when it finished, it kind of did 2 different things at the same time. I don't really want to spoil what they are. How can I put this? But it leaves some interesting doors open for where it's going to go, because things are resolved on one side but not on the others. And you get some mysterious looks inside the different personalities within Deadpool's psyche, and it looks like we're going to see a little bit more of that. Nice to see Michael, the Scottish necromancer, come back. He's a character I grew to enjoy and like, so it was nice to see him back. A little Doctor Strange visit in this one, and some other colorful characters, so definitely worth the read. $2.99, guys. You got to support the $2.99 books, and tell Marvel, tell DC, you are sticking with the $2.99 books, because that's how we're going to keep the prices down, and you got to support them, and you got to be short on the leash with the $3.99 books. I was going to get Silver Surfer. I heard it was $3.99. I said, sorry, my pull list is too long. $3.99, I can't do it. For $2.99, I would have. But what else? Black Science, guys. Rick Remender, he's on fire. He can't stop being awesome, and this book continues in the awesomeness that is Black Science. Anyone who's reading this I've heard from or talked to says it's awesome, and it's true, especially if you like sci-fi. Continuing, running through another dimension, that one with the Civil War Indians, World War, Civil War Indians. We have a sweet laser axe scalping happens in this book. Amongst some other things, we have some death, we have some violence, we have lots of intrigue and excitement, and at the end you finally get a bit of a chance to catch your breath, which is nice, because these kind of books can sometimes almost get exhausting if the characters are just always in danger and always running from something and threatened by something. But yeah, continues being awesome. I have a hard time keeping track of the characters in this. I almost have to go back and read the last issues to remember who's who and what's happening. But you're starting to see the dynamic of the group be explored a little bit, and I think there's some interesting places to go. The whole metaphor with this book is the universe is like an onion, and there's these layers of dimensions, and they're going to get closer and closer to the center of that onion. So excited to see their adventure, where they continue to go. Love this book, guys. The characters are awesome. The worlds that they build are awesome. This is what comics are about for me, and I think this is what really makes comics great, is when you can do anything you want, and you can create a native Indian in a mecha costume that's scalping interdimensional astronaut men from Earth. It's awesome. Like, you can do so much. You can have frog-headed guys shooting lasers. And they really take the medium and they take it to the extremes that it can go to, which is what comics are all about. What else? TMNT. Gotta love the Turtles. I've been a bit harsh on this book sometimes. I get annoyed. I expect a lot from the Turtles. Well, it is a $3.99 book, so my standards are higher. But this one actually stepped up. I really enjoyed the dialogue between the characters in this one. Some of the different metaphors they use. They did a really good job at, how do you explain? They like set up a sort of idea and then they come back to it. You guys know when they do that? They talk about some baseball metaphor at the end of the issue. Oh, here's where that baseball metaphor comes into play. Splinter has an awesome one with Leo. It's not actually a baseball metaphor. I'll let you read it. But we get a new sweet Hawk attack character. He's like a mutated Hawk, which kind of makes sense. The Hawk versus Splinter. You know, the Hawks hunt rats. Leo is sort of struggling. You get Raph and Alopex's relationship building. I had like this super feminine conversation with Alopex, which annoyed me because Raph is supposed to be this like thick-skinned dude who he's emotional, but he has this, it's hard to get into that core and get to that place, and him and Alopex have been going back and forth like crazy. I just want them to fight, which they do at the end, kind of. They fight and spar and bond that way. To me, that's a much better way for Raph and Alopex to bond rather than having to, I don't know, awkwardly talk about their feelings all the time and stuff. Sometimes this book is a bit pandering and it like has to express everything, which could be easily better shown than spoken, if that makes sense. But yeah, and then you know, when you write books like this, like Turtles, like space adventures, things like that, where humans aren't necessarily super central characters, you often want to have someone who's a little more grounded, going through the adventure with you to keep the audience kind of connected. So like your Luke Skywalker, or like Harry Potter is a new wizard exploring this whole world for the first time, or like Doctor Who has the companion, that sort of thing. So the Turtles, it's April and Casey who are supposed to be those characters. But I'm just in that place where I don't really care right now. I don't know. I think Turtles would be fine without them. Not forever. I want them to come back. Casey I like more than April. But like there's like a page and a half where they talk about April's new haircut. And it seems like they're trying to force her in there where she just doesn't need to be there right now. It's okay to kind of cut her out for a bit and bring her back later. Like I don't think she has to be in every issue. And it won't collapse without her there or Casey there. Like, let's have a break. Casey had a pretty vicious knife wound to the gut. You have a good excuse to just leave him on the sidelines for a little while. So, yeah, that said, I really am enjoying this book. This was a really great one. Dialogue worked really well. It didn't come off too cheesy, and it was a lot of fun. So Turtles, still doing it for me. I'm liking it. $3.99, and I have no problem with that. I also picked up this one like last week. Sorry guys, it's a bit late. Red Lanterns 28 and also Green Lanterns 28. It was sort of a cross together issue with a lot of pages in there for $2.99. I think definitely extra pages, unless it just felt like that. But Supergirl is sort of joining the Red Lanterns. She's got the red ring. We don't know why. We don't know how. I've never read a Green Lantern book, guys. This is the first Green Lantern book I read. It is a flip, so it says Red Lantern there, but on the other side is Green Lantern. I was so dumb that I bought 2 copies of this, even though I knew it was a flip book. And I was looking through. I was going to get the issue before, I thought, and this issue. And I don't know what's happening. I was buying other comics too, and I somehow got mixed up, and I bought this twice. So that's how dumb I am. But, you know, it was so many extra pages and pretty solid book that I was okay with that. That said, I just have such a long pull list. I feel like I got the Ron Jeremy of pull lists happening. I just keep adding. It keeps getting bigger. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do because I like this, but I feel like I have so much already. I like the Green Lantern world. I like how it was sort of silly. It was lighthearted, but had a bit of a serious tone to it. I liked that there was a Green Lantern that was a cube, and he's just some cube-shaped creature, and he didn't get along with the sphere-shaped red creature that is the Red Lantern. That was funny to me. And that alone almost made me want to continue reading this book. So we'll see, because Supergirl's a Red Lantern. That's kind of a cool combo. Be interesting to see where that goes. And the Red Lanterns, I guess, are kind of going to be patrolling the Earth sector, as they were offered a section that they could have, and they've sort of claimed Earth, which may or may not be too high on the list of the Green Lanterns where they want the Red Lanterns to be. But it seems like an interesting place for this comic to go. So I'd like to pick it up. I just have so many books, but it's $2.99, so I should, right? I should. So we'll see. Okay, I think that's it for this week, guys. Sorry for my rambling. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later.
I am immortal. I have inside me